Okay, I just want to go over how to repair a crack in plastic. Now this particular, I actually bent this plastic and I couldn't get it to crack. So I just took a knife and really cut a nice gouge out there. In any material, if it has cracked, whether it's polyethylene or a thermoform boat like Hurricane or any of those other manufacturers doing the thermoform, which is the nice shiny material looking like fiberglass. You want to, if you have a crack like this, you're going to want to drill holes at the end of the crack. This will stop the crack from ever going any further. So at the end of my crack, I would just drill holes. What I'm going to do then is place, if I can, I want to place tape on the other side. Sometimes I don't drill through all the way, just enough to keep that cut from continuing. But from here, I'd want to just put some tape on the back ends of this to keep the resins I'm about to put on here from seeping through. The material I'm going to use on this particular boat, you can use most epoxy putties. But your big thing, you'll hear some people saying, oh no, you can't do polyethylene like this. And the fact is that you can. How you're going to use polyethylene, or how you're going to repair polyethylene with this, is to polarize the material. I've shown this on another video. But you can sand your scratch. You might want to keep it nice and tight so it doesn't look bad. But sand down your scratch. If you can get in that crack and sand, that's going to be even better. And there's actually times that I will take a Dremel tool with a little cutting bit on it, and just go down through that crack, just to open it up a little bit so I can really get those epoxies. I don't go all the way through with the Dremel tool, but about halfway through the material, just so those epoxies can get in there to seal the material. Now on polyethylene, again, this is the extra step. It's kind of windy, so if I can get my propane torch going. There we go, I got it going. You're not trying to melt the plastic, you're just trying to hit it with the propane torch to polarize the material, to open up the fibers. So going over it kind of like you would a spray paint. Go in both directions just to make sure it's well polarized, and there we go. This would, on polyethylene, this would be the alternative to using plastic welding. A lot of people don't want to actually melt their boat to fix it. Well, this is a way to fix a little crack without actually having to melt your kayak, because that can get really bad if you heat it too high with a heat gun or a propane torch. So put a little bit of JB Weld. Again, I'm using JB Weld on this, but you can use pretty much any marine epoxy putty. I've used some that I didn't like because it was actually way too soft. It almost felt like gum after it was actually hardened. So I didn't think that would do a good job, but I've been using JB Weld for a while and really do like it for these repairs. You can take a popsicle stick, putty knife, screwdriver, whatever you need to mix this up. JB Weld, since I've got a white and black, one's the hardener, the white's the hardener, the black is the weld, it's going to come out a gray. Make sure there's no black or white in here. You want to make sure it is nice and mixed. And I'm just going to wedge it in to the crack, like so. Make sure it's in those holes that I created. And at this time, to get a really nice smooth repair, I could cover this with tape, and it'll just smooth up the repair. I can go back afterwards, sand this down with a sander if I wanted to, or just keep it as is. I could take some paper towel right now and clean up the excess, everything but where the crack is in the holes. But I don't know if you can see that, but the holes are actually seeping through the cracks. The putty is actually seeping through the holes, creating little dips. If I would have put tape on the inside of that, it would not have done that. It would have stayed nice and neat looking. But that is how to fix a crack in polyethylene or polyethylene or the thermoform boats using JV Weld or another marine epoxy.